The fight that changed everything and caused a home filled with love to spiral into tragedy.
The record?
Teray Turner.
And how are you related to Collin?
He's my son.
And you had prepared a statement that you wished to read to the judge, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead, ma'am.
September 8th, 2021 was an unforgettable day in the Turner household in Florida. During a heated argument, Bree Kristen Kuhn shot and killed her husband, Collin Turner, turning what seemed like an ordinary day into a horrifying tragedy. But wait, Bree Kristen Kuhn was not a killer by nature. She had never harmed anyone before, and she had spent her life serving in the U.S. Navy, dedicated to protecting others. So what led her to shoot her husband that day? We're going to reveal everything, step by step, so stay with us. Now let's take a look at their life before the tragedy. Bree Kristen Kuhn and Collin Turner were a married couple blessed with 3 children. Bree was a respected chief petty officer in the U.S., Navy disciplined, strong, and deeply devoted to both her family and her work. Collin, a former Marine, carried the hidden scars of his service. Friends said he had once been outgoing and full of energy, but after leaving the military, frustration, anxiety, and bursts of anger often followed him home. Bree and Collin appeared to have it all: a strong marriage, a successful military career, and 3 children in Midway, Florida. But life inside their home was different. Arguments had become a regular part of their days, and even small disagreements could quickly spiral out of control, leaving emotional scars that no one could see from the outside. Bree did her best to keep everything together, balancing a demanding career, motherhood, and a troubled marriage. But even her strength had limits. Love, duty, and exhaustion collided in ways no one outside the home could see, setting the stage for the tragedy that would change their lives forever. The life of Bree and Collin Turner continued as it always had until September 8th, 2021. A day that should never have come. The morning started like any other, but tension had been quietly building for hours inside the Turner household. According to law enforcement, the couple had been arguing all day. Collin wanted to take their 3 children, his 2, ages 3 and 4, and Bree's child from a previous relationship to his parents' home in Georgia, but Bree refused. At Bree's sentencing, Collin's parents suggested that this custody dispute played a role in the deadly confrontation that was about to unfold. The first warning came at 12:53 p.m. when Bree called 911 to report the argument about the children. Deputies arrived, noticed the tension, but found no injuries or immediate danger. They left, assuming it was just another routine domestic dispute. Hours later, at 4:57 p.m., Collin made a second 911 call, reporting yet another argument. Deputies returned, but again found no evidence of physical abuse. Both Bree and Collin downplayed the situation. From the outside, it seemed like just another family disagreement. But inside, the storm was gathering. By 6:22 p.m., the day would spiral into horror. Collin made a final 911 call from inside the garage, his voice trembling with fear.
What was that? You just shot me! She just shot him. I just heard 4 shots.
What was that? The dispatcher asked. She just shot me, Collin screamed. 3 more shots rang out, then silence. When deputies arrived, it was too late. Collin was dead. Bree stood nearby, visibly shaken, while their 3 children were inside witnesses to a tragedy that would forever haunt the quiet Midway neighborhood. The shocking events of that September evening left the quiet Midway neighborhood in disbelief. Law enforcement quickly secured the Turner home and began piecing together what had happened. Investigators collected 911 calls, spoke with neighbors, reviewed forensic reports, and interviewed family members. It soon became clear this was not a random act of violence. It was the tragic result of years of tension, frustration, and unresolved conflict. Neighbors and friends described Bree and Collin as a disciplined, military couple, respected in their community. But they also spoke of growing tension, frequent arguments, and signs that things were unraveling. 2 earlier 911 calls had hinted that something serious was brewing, but no one could have predicted the deadly outcome. Within days, Bree Kristen Kuhn was arrested and charged with murder. What had started as arguments inside a family home had escalated into a courtroom battle under intense public scrutiny, and the story of Bree and Collin would soon be examined under a national spotlight. After countless questions from investigators and a thorough review of the evidence, it became clear. Bree Kristen Kuhn had killed her husband during an argument, setting the stage for a high-profile murder trial. The courtroom was packed, the tension palpable, as the story of Bree Kristen Kuhn and Collin Turner unfolded for all to see. What had begun as a heated argument in a family home had now become a legal battle under the scrutiny of the local community and beyond. Bree claimed she had acted in self-defense. Her attorneys told the jury that Collin had been abusive since his medical discharge from the Marines, citing his 100% disability from a traumatic brain injury. They argued that Bree had suffered mental, physical, and even sexual abuse, and that her first 911 call had been made after Collin shoved her during their altercation. Prosecutors painted a different picture. They described a relationship marked by years of escalating arguments and unresolved tension, arguing that the deadly confrontation was the tragic culmination of a marriage in crisis. Throughout the trial, friends, neighbors, and experts took the stand, revealing the pressures the couple faced, the strain of military life, and the emotional weight carried behind closed doors. Every testimony added another layer to a story filled with love, frustration, fear, and heartbreak. After weeks of testimony and deliberation, the jury delivered its verdict. Bree Kristen Kuhn was found guilty of murder. One life was lost, another forever changed by incarceration, and 3 children left to navigate a future shaped by a tragedy that could have been avoided. The story of Bree and Collin is a haunting reminder that appearances can be deceiving. A home that seemed ordinary concealed deep struggles, and warning signs went unnoticed until it was too late. For the Midway community, the echoes of that day remain. Neighbors remember the laughter that once filled the house, now replaced by silence and sorrow. This case shows the devastating consequences when frustration, arguments, and unresolved conflict spiral out of control. Love, duty, and pain collided in a moment that changed everything, leaving scars that will never fully heal.